arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Pay homage to the Blessed One. Dear friend, today, May 22nd, 2020, I'd like to deliver a Dhamma talk about a jhana practice. Actually, today I thought that I'll talk the 5 hindrances again, and harmonious practice, and the first jhana. Do you know why I'm going to talk? Because I want you to understand the characteristic of the first jhana very clearly. I'll talk only one, and that will be very clear to all of you. So after my talk, then I will ask one by one. So you have to answer that. But if you cannot answer it, don't worry, I will answer again. Okay? So, but I want you to be clear. The first jhana, what are the 5 hindrances and what are the harmonious practice? Because if you don't understand the 5 hindrances, the harmonious practice, and the characteristic of the first jhana, then when you go to practice meditation, loving kindness meditations, even though if you attain the first jhana, but you will not understand that. So I want you to be clear in your mind. Okay? So let me talk about the 5 hindrances. So what are the 5 hindrances? The first one is sensual desire. So through the 6 senses, we have the 6 senses. So eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body, and mind. So through the 6 senses, whatever the desire will arise in your mind, right? So we call sensual desire. So this is the number 1. Among the 5 hindrances, this is the number 1. And number 2, aversion. Number 2, aversion, we call in Pali, Vyapada, aversion. So during the retreat, when hatred will arise, aversion will arise, you was fighting with someone, so anger will arise. So what you have to do? You have to understand that now my mind is burning by fire, hatred. The hatred is one of the fire. Okay? And number 3, sleepiness and dullness. When you practice 30 minutes or an hour, you feel sleepiness and dullness, and you feel that, oh, maybe today I should not practice. Maybe tomorrow I'll practice a long time. Today only 30 minutes. So that feeling may arise in your mind. So you have to understand that. And then next, restlessness and anxiety. So restlessness means your mind go here and there, like monkey. You see, running all the time, right? And anxiety. I want to keep my mind in one place, but I cannot keep it. This is the anxiety, right? And the last one is doubt. So what Bhante Satyananda is teaching, maybe this is not the truth because he's not talking from the sutta. So that doubt may arise in your mind. What the Buddha talk about in the Buddhist scripture, maybe this is not the truth. Whatever Buddha said about the 4 noble truths doesn't work. 8 noble paths doesn't work. So that doubt may arise in your mind. So what do you have to do? You have to understand 5 hindrances first. So when 5 hindrances will be clear to your mind, those are the hindrances. So these hindrances must arise in your mind until you attain Arahant. Remember that. Okay? You have to Remember all the time. So hindrances is you have to accept them like your friend. Don't think that 5 hindrances are enemy to me, because whenever I practice meditation, the 5 hindrances always arise to my mind, so I feel bored. Don't think that way. You have to think that these 5 hindrances is the good friend to me. When it will arise to my mind, that means I am happy. So you have to aware of it. You have to use the harmonious practice. So if you can accept that way, then your meditation will be very good. Because you know already 5 hindrances, and you have to know harmonious practice. So what are the harmonious practice? Recognize it. When unwholesome thought arises in your mind, release it. Because this is unwholesome, don't pay attention there continuously. And relax the tension and tightness in your head. Be like this in your head. Just relax it. Just relax it. Relax it. In the whole body. Not only in your head, but the whole body. And bring up the wholesome thought by smiling. Because when you smile, the wholesome thought will arise in your mind. So, more you smile, the more wholesome thought will arise in your mind. Then keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. So these are the harmonious practice, right? So now you got 5 hindrances: sensual desire, aversion, sleepiness and dullness, restlessness and anxiety, and last one is doubt. So these are the 5 hindrances. And harmonious practice: number 1, recognize it. When an unwholesome thought arises in your mind, release it. Don't pay attention there continuously, because this is unwholesome. And relax tension and tightness. And bring up the wholesome thought by smiling. And keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. Right? So now you got 2 things. One is the 5 hindrances, and another one is the harmonious practice. Now I am going to talk first jhana and second jhana. I will not talk more than that. So today you are going to learn 5 hindrances, harmonious practice, first jhana and second jhana. After that, Q&A. Right? So first jhana, when you radiate loving kindness to yourself 10 minutes, because even though some of you advanced meditator, but still you have to be clear about the first jhana. So some of them, even though they are practicing meditations, and they know that they are advanced meditator, but they have no idea about the first jhana. But I want you to have knowledge about the first jhana. So what you have to do, you just sit down on the chair or the comfortable place wherever you want to practice meditation, and you remember a time when you were happy, when that happy feeling rises the center of your chest, you feel warming, glowing feeling. Then you make a wish. May I be happy. May I be calm. May I be peaceful. May I be full of joy. May I be content. Or whatever you want to make wish, you can wish 10 minutes to yourself. And then you should say a spiritual friend who really respect you, who really love you, but not any family members. When you attain the 4th jhana, then you can radiate one by one to your family members, but not now. Okay? So you should say spiritual friend. You can choose your best friend. You are man, just choose a man. So who really help you, who really love you, So just remember he's smiling when he was talking with you. He He smiled with you. Just remember his smile and bring up the center of your chest. And when you feel warm and glowing feeling the center of your chest, then you make wish for him. You radiate loving kindness to your spiritual friend. May my friend be happy. May my friend be calm. May my friend be peaceful. May my friend be full of joy. May my friend be content. And so on. So whatever you want to make wish, you can do that. Right? Then you'll see the 5 hindrances, as I mentioned earlier. The 5 hindrances will not arise. Thinking and examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind will arise in your mind. It will arise very, very quickly, very fast in your mind. Thinking thought, examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind will arise in your mind. Then you think that you attain the first jhana. Because 5 hindrances not there. So as soon as 5 hindrances arise again, then you are dropped from the first jhana. Okay? So you have to understand very clearly about that. So that's why at the beginning I said 5 hindrances and harmonious practice, then first jhana. So when 5 hindrances not there, thinking thought, examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind, then you got the first jhana. Is it clear? Right? So I will ask one by one. You have to answer, okay? So these are the first jhana, characteristic of the first jhana. So when you are practicing, okay, let's say, when I am practicing meditation, the sensual desire arises in my mind, then you are dropped from the first jhana. And you again radiating loving kindness to yourself or to a spiritual friend, practicing, again quickly you attain the first jhana. Because 5 hindrances is not there. Right? And again you are in the jhana because it will attain very quickly because you already experienced that before. And again you are practicing continuously practicing, then you will see that again aversion arises. Then you drop again from the jhana. So what do you have to do? You have to practice again from the beginning. And you'll see very quickly you attain again first jhana. Right? And after a few seconds, after 1 minute or 2 minutes, and sleepiness and dullness arise in your mind, then you drop again from the jhana. Then I have to start again from the beginning. This is ups and downs, you know. So jhana practice is like that. But you have to be patient for that. It's not easy. Don't think that, you know, when I went to the Dhammasukha Meditation Center for practicing meditation, Bhante Vimalaram, she understood about my mind. Because I really want to get all the jhanas very quickly, you know. And he told me that I understood your mind. One retreat, you want to get everything. He scolded me. And I was smiling by seeing his face. You know? So that's why don't be attached too much to the jhanas. Okay? So if you think that it will come, it will arise in my mind, but I just practice meditation. So when I understand the 5 hindrances or harmonious practice, it will come to me. It will come gradually. You know, you just keep studying, keep practicing as long as you can. Right? So again you are practicing, then restlessness and anxiety rise in your mind, and you drop again from the first jhana. So again you have to practice from the beginning, practicing. Then again you attain the first jhana. So after 1 or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, then doubt rise again. Then you drop again from the jhana. Then you have to practice again from the beginning. Practicing, then you attain again first jhana. So when you practice like that, whenever hindrances come, anyone, sensual desire, aversion, sleepiness or dullness, restlessness and anxiety and aversion, you have to use the harmonious practice. For instance, sensual desire arises in your mind. You recognize it, release it, relax, tension and tightness, bring up the wholesome thought, and by smiling and keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. And aversion arises, recognize it, release it, relax, tension and tightness, bring up the wholesome thought, and keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. And rest, sleepiness and dullness arise in your mind. Then again you recognize it, release it, relax tension and tightness in your head, in your whole body, and bring up the wholesome thought by smiling and keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. And restlessness and anxiety arise in your mind. Again recognize it, release it, relax tension and tightness in your head, in your whole body, and bring up the wholesome thought by smiling and keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. And the last one, doubt arise. Again you use recognize it, release it, relax tension and tightness in your head, in your whole body, and bring up the wholesome thought by smiling and keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. So that way, you see the hindrances will be slowly weaker. So these are the characteristics of the first jhana. Okay, so now I am going to talk one sutta from the Samyutta Nikaya connected discourse. Okay, so this is the page number 713. Here in this sutta, this is very small sutta actually. In this sutta mention that Kulita Sutta. Kulita means Moggallana's family name. So Moggallana was the one disciple of the Buddha who has the psychic power, who can fly everywhere. So he was the psychic power, strong psychic power. So his family name Kulita. So that's why this sutta name Kulita Sutta. Right? So Ethan, your name is Ethan. This is family name. When you become like me, monk, then your name will be changed. I can give you maybe another name, right? So like the Vincent, his family name is Vincent. But when he become monk, then I can give him another name. Right? So exactly, the Moggallana is the monk name. And Kulita is the family name. So this sutta about the Kulita, about the Moggallana, how Moggallana practice jhana. So his experience is going to talk about here. Right? So this sutta is very small. So I just want to read and then I will discuss about it. So Kulita Sutta from Samyutta Nikaya. Thus have I heard. Who said that? Thus have...
Maybe one of the monks who was listening, maybe Ananda?
Yes, Venerable Ananda. Venerable, during the first Buddhist council, in front of the 500 Arahants, he said, thus have I heard. From who? From the Buddha. because he was attendants of the Buddha. So whenever you see from any sutta from the beginning, thus have I heard, that one said by the Ananda. Okay? Thus have I heard, on one occasion the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's group, Anathapindika's park. There the Venerable Mahamuggalana addressed the bhikkhus thus, Friends, bhikkhus. Friend, those bhikkhus replied. The Venerable Mahamuggalana said this. Here, friends, while I was alone in seclusion, you see, seclusion, when I was alone in seclusion, a reflection arose in my mind thus. It is said, novel silent, novel silent. What does it mean, novel silent? He's going to explain here. What now is novel silent? Then, friends, it occurred to me here, with the subsiding, the thinking and examining thought, a bhikkhu enters and dwells in the second jhana, which has internal confidence and unification of mind, is without thinking and examining thought, and has joy and happiness born of collectedness. This is called novel silent. Now you got the answer, right? What is the novel silent? So the I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I thought you were asking, sorry.
No, I am not actually. So this is the novel silent. So novel silent means when you attain the second jhana, so your mind will be novel silent, because you have an internal confidence. This meditation is really work. You'll have confidence, internal confidence in your mind. So some people, they don't have any religions, but when they come to practice meditations, when they experience themselves, when they get something, then they accept that. Because they think that, wow, this meditation is really work. My mind is changing. So they have the internal confidence and unification of mind. So the last retreat I mentioned that thinking and examining the joy, happiness and unification of mind. So here in this sutta mentioned already, which has internal confidence and unification of mind, you see, is without thinking and examining thought, and has joy and happiness born of collectedness. So here collectedness, I don't use the concentration. So instead of concentration, I use the collectedness. Your mind is calm, right? This is called novel silent. Then, friends, with the subsiding of thinking and examining thought, I entered and dwelled in the second jhana. That means, has internal confidence and unification of mind, is without thinking and examining thought, and has joy and happiness born of collectedness. While I dwelt therein, perception and attention accompanied by thought assailed me. What does it mean, assailed me? Assailed me means when you are in the second jhana, the perception and attention accompanied by thought. So you have to understand these things. So what does it mean, the perception? Perception means giving name. When I open eye and see the form, when I open eye, see the Vincent. Oh, this is the Vincent, this is the Ethan, this is the Andrew. So who is giving the name? Perception. Perception is giving the name. Okay? So, and another things here mentioned that the attention means mindful. So, perception and attention, thought, accompanied by thought, assailed me. strongly attacked me. I can say that, um, some one of my students, she practiced meditations, and she actually always talk with me about the meditations, and she when she practiced long time, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, like that, then strongly something is coming to her.